Irving Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning.
Tonight from the Shipyard, the home of the Nimitz Vikings. It's a District 9 6A matchup as Nimitz plays host to the Tigers of Irving. Hello again, everyone. John Nelson, Rob Willman will join us in just a few minutes, halfway through the district season this year. Our first look at Nimitz and the ceremonial trio of first pitches tonight at Nimitz Field. As we check the current standings in 9-6A, everyone chasing Jesuit a perfect 8-0. W.T. White now alone in second place. Nimitz and Mack tied for third. And then the rest of the pack, Irving, Arnold, Turner, Sunset, and Skyline. Big district game tonight for Nimitz, trying to stay pace with W.T. White and not lose any ground to their crosstown rival, MacArthur. On the hill tonight for the Nimitz Vikings is Braden Williams. He's a perfect 2-0 in district this year, 3-1 overall. Nimitz with an outstanding staff ERA of 3.20. Had a practice game with Arlington Lamar over the weekend and shut out the Lamar Vikings 10-0. And here's the batting order tonight for the Irving Tigers: Salinas, Inocencio, and Cecinas. The top three, the middle of the order, Martinez, Strain, and Bartlett. Cano, Hernandez, and Goodall batting 7, 8, and 9. Irving 5-9 on the year. There's a look from behind home and the throw down to second in just a few minutes. Defensively for the Vikings tonight, the corners are Torres and Balfance. Up the middle, Garcia and Williams. The outfield from right to left, Gonzalez, Reagan, and Weatherford. Rico Carrasco behind the plates. And right-hander Braden Williams on the hill. Braden, a senior, overall 3-1, but in district an ERA of 1.67. He has worked 21 innings, allowed 18 hits and 6 runs in district play. Just about ready for tonight's first pitch, and here's Rob Willman.
All right, John, thank you very much. The Tigers in a slump. We saw them last week on ICTN. Lost to R.L. Turner in game one of that 2-game series, and they turned around and lost over in Carrollton as well. The bats have really been struggling as of late, and they're facing a very tough guy on the hill tonight. So odds makers would say this would be a tough game for the Tigers tonight, so we'll see how the youngsters perform for Irving. Meanwhile, first time we've seen the Nimitz Vikings. Excited about this game because I wanted to see a couple of their key players. Josh Reagan, one of those guys out in center field, who carries a really heavy stick, and that is fouled off out of play to the right. We'll see exactly how these Vikings stack up this year compared to last year's playoff team. They were exciting and fun to watch as well. Short right field porch, 300 with the high cyclone fence into the neighborhood. The next pitch is outside, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We didn't know if we'd get this game in as you take a look at the fence in the right field. A tall one at that. Yep, short. And the 2-2 pitch. Looked at it for a called strike 3, and Salinas goes down the first K of the night for Brandon Williams.
Strikeout number 24 in district play, number 33 overall. Rob, the field for the most part is in good shape. It has rained the last couple of days. The infield, they used about 13 bags of the diamond dust on the left side of the infield between short and third. The outfield is pretty decent.
Well, we didn't bring a helicopter in here to dry this thing off.
Oh, that budget ran out about a year ago.
There's a strike on the outside corner to Seth Inocencio, the shortstop. Seth batting from the left side. Not much of a wind to say here tonight. Every now and then you get a little breeze from center to left. But right now, not much of a breeze at all. Swung on right to the first baseman. Torres waves off the pitcher, and there are 2 down.
Now batting
The
for
bats
red
have been
team,
really cold
Sebastian
for these
Cisneros.
Irving Tigers. You know, they average right around 250 overall, batting average-wise, but they could not get anybody aboard last week against the Lions, and when they did, they just ran themselves out of an inning. Cisneros now steps in, swung on and missed. As Williams finds the plate there, the head coach, Coach K, talked to him before the game, talked about his time over at DeSoto back when they won a state title back in the 80s. And the head coach, Benny Jones, he was telling me that Benny is out in West Texas.
And DeSoto is now 1-14 on the year.
Yeah, a little different from those DeSoto teams back in the 80s. And the 1-1 offering, swung on and missed again. That pitch looks similar to the first one that Braden offered up.
Chased it low and away.
Cisneros coming in, batting over 300. That's why they got him in the number 3 spot. And dribbles that one to third. Alphonse over to first. In time, and the inning is over just like that. 3 up and 3 down for Williams. And that'll take us to the bottom of inning number 1.
Couple of ground ball outs and a strikeout, and a good start for Braden Williams tonight in district play. Nimitz coming off a loss to Jesuit in their last district contest, 11-4. They had won 10 in a row before that loss. And again, a win over Lamar in a non-district game a couple of nights ago. They come in having won 7 of their last 9. And they're 3-1 here at the Shipyard. Here's a batting order tonight for the home Nimitz Vikings: Williams, Garcia, and Reagan. The middle of the order, Torres, Weatherford, and Carrasco. And then Balfonte, Gonzalez, and Williams hitting 7, 8, and 9. Christian Banda, Rob, our third look at the right-hander this year for the Irving Tigers. A district record of 1-2, and an ERA hovering around 2. And the defense behind him from third to first, Cano, Inocencio, Hernandez, and Martinez. The outfield from right to left, Bartlett, Goodall, and Strain. Noah Salinas behind the plates, and Christian Banda on the hill. Nimitz comes in with a team batting average of .382 on the year, averaging right at 8 runs. And the district numbers this year for Banda. All he needs, Rob, is a little run support. We've seen him twice, and it would certainly help his ego.
Well, that and the fact that defensively, they've cost themselves some runs by some throwing and fielding mistakes behind him, and that doesn't help much at all either. All right, Braden Williams to lead things off in district. He's batting .481. Looks at the first pitch outside. Braden going to play ball at Texas Tech when his high school career is over. Got the white batting helmets, the Nimitz sign. He hits that one right up the pipe. Encicino trying to make something happen, and he throws it away. We'll give him a base hit on that. I think he had it at first before the throw anyway. And for Irving's sake, that one didn't get away from the first baseman, and Williams will be on at first.
Yeah, right off the side of the mound and almost redirected it into the glove of Inocencio. But you're right, that would have been a little late, and we'll give Williams an infield hit.
Let's see if Garcia lays down the bunt. He leads the team in sacrifices in district play, and he squares around right down the line. That's perfect. That'll get the runner over, and Williams going to second base.
And
so
just how you draw it up.
Well, and you know, I was looking at the lineup, and you've got Braden Williams that bats, in the 400s, and then you got Reagan that bats third in the 400s. So you put Garcia, who leads the team in sacrifices, in the number 2 hole, and that's just the way you do it. Move the runner over and hope that Josh, who one of the top hitters in the Metroplex, can bring the runner home.
Number 2 in the area in batting.
That is low, and we'll see how Banda opts to pitch to Josh with first base open. Andrew Torres on deck.
That Yankee uniform, sure there's not Tino Martinez coming back at first base?
Incognito. That hit him. So he will go to first base, almost like an intentional walk, but the hit batter. So now they got runners at first and second, and Torres up. We'll see it. Curveball that didn't curve, hit him right in the arm. Kind of shakes it off a little bit. You know, that's, for a hitter, that's a dangerous part. You get hit right there in the back of the hand.
Now batting the
Good
first baseman.
pitch and came in a little tight. And now trouble brewing here in the bottom of the first.
Torres batting in the upper 200s. 5 RBIs in district. Runners moving. He swings away, but pulls that one foul, and everyone goes back to their starting position.
And a good time to start the runners with 1 out on the first pitch. Just yanked a little foul.
And as we have seen Banda twice this year already, we know that his best pitch is his breaking ball. We all know that's a great pitch to run on, too. And Coach Mendoza had the guys running from the get-go. The 0-1 offering, Banda decides to swing around to second. Second baseman Hernandez really wasn't covering. So we'll start it all over again for Andrew Torres, the first baseman. Right on the ground, past third, but it's foul. Just a little bit outside the bag. And once again, the runners will go back to second and first. 1 out. On the sacrifice, the wind blowing just gingerly from center field to left. Overcast skies, we've had a lot of rain, but it's held off for about 24 hours. A little chill in the air, but it is still April.
Yeah, temperature right in the upper 50s, right now probably in the mid-50s.
Runners going again, another curveball offering, gets past the third baseman, Cano. Here comes Williams. They'll hold the throw, and Braden scores the game's first run with Reagan going to second.
Stolen base and an E2 on Noah Salinas, allowing Braden to come around to score.
Noah talking to himself a little bit about that throw. The breaking pitch that Banda's so good at, and that's the one they took off on. So now with runners, or runner at second. And now he goes, and it's hit the left. If it falls, it's going to be an easy RBI, but it doesn't, so it turns into an easy double play. So that's how the inning ends, with Torres hitting a liner to left. Strain had all day to toss over to second for the double play.
Well, they had started the runner at second, Reagan, and Andrew just gets underneath it, and Strain in perfect position just off the foul line. Well, here's the run that came around on the throwing error by Salinas. And then the little bloop to left field by Torres as Reagan was on the move, and Aaron Strain able to get it to Josh Hernandez. And the inning-ending 7-4 double play.
Vikings come in averaging about 88% successful stolen base rate. So you can see they're not afraid to run. Sometimes it backfires, as the case there. Watch the double play again. Not a lot that Reagan could do. Watch the jump as he gets about a 4-step lead.
He's on the run, and all you ask of a batter is to put it in play. He did. But out in left field, Aaron Strain with an easy catch, and Hernandez covering second.
Put it in play on the ground.
to the right side.
Okay, now we're asking too much.
A little bit too much to ask for. Concession stand, dollar dog night here at the Nimitz Field.
Coming off that losing series to Jesuit, they really did well in one of the games. It was tied until the Rangers hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 7th to tie it and won it. Here's what the teams have done last couple of games, or all the district games.
Nimitz having won 6 of the last 8. And as you mentioned, Rob, Irving just having a hard time of it scoring runs. And, you know, they started out the year 4-2. They had a pretty decent start non-district wise. But,
ironically, the most runs they've scored in district was against Jesuit.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, we go to the top of the 2nd. Daniel Martinez, the first baseman, will lead things off. That one almost hit him a little bit. We talk about the weather, all this rain, probably good for the worm farmers out there and the green grass.
It is an emerald green, is it not? All the way around.
This one's popped up. Center field, Reagan on the move. Plenty of room. And there's one down.
385 to dead center, but a 15-foot high wall for a cyclone fence. All the way from left field to right center field.
A lot of room out there for Josh to run around in. You know, even with all of this mess that the Tigers have had, you know, they've already surpassed their win total from last year. So something a little bit to hang their hat on.
Yeah, 1-17 a season ago and 5-9 overall.
As we record this game on April the 14th, a day before John's most favorite day of the year, we're already hearing people talk about what a terrible start the Rangers are off to and trying to find a silver lining in in the early part of the season.
The tax man cometh and the losses mount up.
They do for the Tejas Rangers. Fastball right there. Did not see a call of a strike from the home plate umpire. As Aaron Strain, the left fielder, is up.
A little bit of breeze blowing straight in from center field tonight. Home plate faces southwest.
Strain batting about 250. That's right on the outside corner. Pretty pitch by Braden, who has retired 4 in a row. As you take a look at Old Glory.
In dead center field and maybe 5 to 7 miles an hour.
3-1 pitch, very high and tight to Strain. So first base runner for these Tigers. And a sophomore, Ryan Bartlett.
Matt Sarter coaching first for the Tigers.
We have seen teams sometimes on the other foot, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, where the Tigers were really good and the Vikings were just trying to be established. Go to first, keeping them honest. We've seen the Vikings play the role of the spoiler right here at the Shipyard when the Tigers were really strong, and now the proverbial shoe is on the other foot as the Tigers are now trying to spoil the Vikings' quest to stay strong in postseason play. And there's a throw down to second. Did he get him the first time? No, and he didn't get him the second time either.
Brendan Williams taking the throw, and Strain able to duck underneath the tag and arrive safely at second. They had him hung out to dry, and then all that and a extra base for the Irving Tigers. There you see the throw, and you'll see the reach around, but Aaron Strain swift of foot and able to get in there safely.
Made a nifty move to avoid the tag and get in scoring position with just 1 out.
Rico's throw went a little bit to the right of second base.
1-1 pitch coming. Hit right to the first and past the first baseman, Torres. Strain will be held up at third, and there's runners at the corners with only 1 out.
Yeah, Bartlett goes the other way, advances the runner, and Strain now standing at third as Torres unable to make the play at first.
Watch Bartlett, just goes with the pitch inside out opposite field, hitting behind the runner. Not only did he sacrifice him, he ended up getting the hit as well. And now the Tigers making some noise. Julio Cano steps in with 2 on, 1 out. They got him picked off at first. Now what do you do with it? Well, you go to third, and you've got the base runner Strain in a rundown to the catcher, and they've got him out. And the throw to third almost gets away, but a nifty play to back up the pitcher covering at third and keeps that runner from scoring.
1-5-2 on the putout of Strain at home. Bartlett reaches third. Here's the movement, and then they've got Strain in a run down the soft toss by Balfonts, and then trying to get Bartlett at third and able to get in there as the ball gets away.
Grounder to third. It's going to be a long throw of Balfonts. He's got him. And the inning is over. Well, some troubled times for the Vikings in the second, but they get around it. And good teams will do that, and teams that are struggling will make those running errors that we have seen already out of these Tigers this year, and it rears its ugly head again if you're a Tiger fan.
Well, that's a good way to put it, Rob. You run yourself into an out. The Strain put out at home, and what could have been ends up another scoreless inning for the Irving Tigers.
We talked about how Jesuit, very strong, earning its way undefeated so far in district play. White surprisingly at number 2, but I predict they won't be there once the dust settles, because the Longhorns still have to play Jesuit. They still have to play these Vikings. I think once everything is said and done, it'll be Jesuit, Nimitz, perhaps MacArthur, and then White in 4th place. But pretty much those are the top 4 pretty much going to be your teams in postseason.
Nimitz able to reach postseason play last year, losing to Coppell 2-1. Yeah, it is a little nippy. Sun is well hidden with the overcast skies. Never came out today. I never saw the sun today.
No, and it barely got into the 60s. Keep the coat handy for maybe a day or two, and we'll be done, I think. All right, here in the second, Weatherford, Carrasco, and Balfonts, your scheduled 3. Facing Banda. Got himself in a jam, and the aggressive running by these Vikings creating run number 1. Grounded to third again, Cano. Threats the first baseman off the bag, and Weatherford is on board.
High throw, and Daniel Martinez climbed the ladder, but Daniel Weatherford able to reach first base on the throwing error.
Well, he hit it deep. Cano had to go way back behind the bag, and then once the toss, just threw it too high.
Yeah.
High and wide. Let's see if they run him again. Carrasco fakes the bunt. They go back to first. Remember, these Vikings like to run. Pretty close to 90% successful every time they do take off, and Weatherford has a pretty decent lead over at first. The pitch pulled back the bunt, going head first to second is Weatherford. And another stolen base by these Vikings.
Throw a little high. Stephen Asensio taking the throw from his shortstop position.
Could be a long night for Salinas. Nimitz not shy at all to take 4-5-step lead off the bag. And now the Vikings looking for a clutch hit to get that second run across. Nobody out, 0-1 to Carrasco. Inside and tight.
There's Robert Mendoza in year number 4, graduate of Wayland Baptist. And I was visiting with Robert earlier tonight, talking about our paths have crossed in the Old American Association. Robert played for San Angelo and El Paso in the American Association. I remember him as a second baseman. Also played at Sioux City.
Was he impressed by your nod?
Well, we were talking about the bus trip from El Paso to Pensacola. Some of those long 14-hour, 15-hour bus rides with stops in between. He doesn't miss those at all. Nor Mike Marshall at El Paso.
Let's see if they try to keep Weatherford close to the bag. Banda just spins enough. And Jersey's almost coming off of Weatherford.
Pretty close, yeah.
Another 4 steps to his right. Banda's offering, hit right in the hole. Base hit. They'll probably hold Weatherford at third. Big wide turn at first by Carrasco. But that's just a case of hitting it where they're not. The shortstop, Inocencio, was hedging a little bit and edging his way towards second base, trying to keep Weatherford tied, and that left a pretty good gap between short and third, and Carrasco found it.
Yeah, couldn't have placed it any better. Rico came in hitting close to 270 in district.
Went down to grab that one. Pinch runner, courtesy runner coming in. Number 13, Alex Rodriguez. Running at first. Let the catcher get his gear back on. I'm sure as a catcher he may enjoy the fact that he gets some time to rest between innings. So runners at the corners again for the Vikings. They send the runner, and Rodriguez goes down without a toss. And so now they have runners at second and third with nobody out.
Well, that's as good as a bunt without an out recorded. You've advanced the runner. Just trying to put it in play.
Balfont, you see now, up at the plate. Third baseman.
He's got a nice batting average of well over 400 in district play. Third on the team in RBIs.
Yeah, there's a lot at 5 RBIs. He's one off.
There's that good curveball by Banda. Broke late at the knees.
Of course, that name familiar. His brother Scott played for him last year down at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Little looper to left. The left fielder, Strain, got a little mixed up with the play, and that's going to allow Weatherford to score. Rodriguez will stop at third, and the defensive woes continue for Irving High. Strain, I don't know if he lost it in the lights, but it fell right behind him, and Goodall couldn't get over in time in center field, and it's now 2-0.
A base hit, nobody touched it. Aaron had started in, and then right now realizes, well, it's about 4 feet over my head as Goodall backs him up in an RBI for Balfants.
So Gonzalez steps in, again, 2 on, no one out. Could have a big inning here for the Vikings. Gonzalez at 333, looking for his first RBI in district play, and this is a good opportunity to pick that up. Fouls it straight back. Some of those numbers for Banda deceiving when you talk about the ERA and what he's done pitching-wise, because this is like the 3rd time we've seen this to where he gets in trouble, but his defensive players don't help him out much. That is high and outside for a ball, and it's 2-1.
Just makes it hard on yourself, and still just trying to get that first out.
Brendan Williams on deck with no one out. Gonzalez looks at that low and away, and it's 3-1. Started off with an error by the third baseman through high and wide. Allowed Weatherford to get on board. Carrasco got a hit, hit it right in the hole at short. And then Balfont's hit one to left. Here's one down the right field line. Both Bartlett and Martinez giving chase, but no one can get to it. A lot of room down that right field line. And the left side, actually.
Yeah, about 25 feet off the lines, ample room to make a play.
Umpire looking at the ball after that one was slap foul. He says, okay, good enough. So the count is full, 3-2. Bottom of the second, it's already 2-0 Nimitz, looking for more. Gonzalez being patient, fouls that one off again to the right. So he's making Banda throw a lot of pitches here in the bottom of the second. The winner of this district will take on the 10-6A. So it's important how you line it up, and here's a hit up the middle. The shortstop, Inocencio, goes to first. They get one runner there, but a run scores, and it's now 3-0.
Second ball we've seen hit off the side of the mound. Seth was in position. Balfance moves over to third. RBI for David Gonzalez, the right fielder.
Rodriguez scores as the pinch runner. Balfance goes to third, and now after Coach Mendoza talked to the umpire out in the field. Well, I guess he was thinking that perhaps his runner at first was safe.
Called him out. Inocencio.
Yeah, let's see if they pulled him off the bag. Watch the replay. I see the foot. Stretched out, but looks legit. Yeah, I think he was on.
Well, the back heel was anchored to it.
Yeah, I think it's a good call.
3-0 our score now.
Yep, one down with Balfance at third and Brendan Williams batting ninth. Try to get another run across with just one out. The younger of the Williams boys can bring that run in a variety of ways. Sacrifice to get it out of the infield. That is fouled back. He's behind on the count very quickly at 0-2. Vikings have outscored their opponents 64-2 in district play. Quite impressive. Outside for a ball. Coach Mendoza is telling his youngster, make contact. It's past the catcher on a third strike. Gets to first. They get the out there, but they can't get back in time at home plate. And a run scores.
A 4-0 count now.
Well, it's like I said, you know, when there's only one out, there's just a host of ways you can get that other run in.
It all started with a ground ball to Cano, whose throw was a little high to first.
So it cleans the bases. With 2 outs, we go to the top of the order. And Braden, who reached on back in the first, he gets hit. So that's the second time the top 2 hitters of this team have been hit by a pitch.
He'll take first the hard way.
And Saul Garcia will step in. Had to lay down that really nice bunt back in the first to get Williams over to second. Tigers straight away defensively. It's a ball high and away. Well, you know, you're used to running so much, you might as well send Braden on a 1-0 pitch, get him to second, and hope that Garcia can get a base hit and bring him home. Tigers thinking the same thing as Banda tosses over to first. a keep-you-honest throw. Although Banda has a good move. We've seen him pick off a couple of guys this year.
Yeah, last 2 games, he's picked off a runner at first.
Hit the center. Goodall has a bead on it. One hands it, and the inning is over. So we have finished 2 innings of baseball. The score, the Vikings 4, the Tigers nothing. Back with the third in a moment. And welcome back, everyone, as the Nimitz Vikings have a commanding 4-0 lead over the Irving Tigers after 2 innings of play. Also playing in a series this week is Jesuit and White. We talked about White, and we'll talk about that series in a moment. But with the call is John Nelson. John?
All right, Rob. Jason Hernandez swings on the first pitch and fouls one off the left side. 8-9-1. In the Irving batting order to face Braden Williams. A 4-0 Nimitz lead. Tigers next week will host Sunset in District 9 6A play. Again, Braden, a perfect 2-0 in District this year. Comes a little bit outside of the count 1-1 on Hernandez, hitting over 300 in District.
Yeah, White already losing to Jesuit handily in game 1, 4-0 early on. So the juggernaut Rangers of Jesuit, not our Texas Rangers.
A lot of other Rangers have winning ways this year. Fastball at the knees, and the count at 1-2. Braden throws. Here's one hit off the left side, out of play into the parking lot. This field is below street level. And again, that 30-foot high fence in right field. Good hitter's backdrop. One-two pitch on the way. A swing and a miss on a ball a little bit outside, and Hernandez couldn't hold up. And the second strikeout for Braden Williams, his 34th overall, and his 25th in district play. One down for Chase Goodall, the center fielder. Chase batting 9th in the order this week, Rob. He's fallen down a couple of spots.
Chase has been struggling at the plate.
Takes a breaking pitch in for a strike. Noah Salinas will hit third.
Like Leonis Martin of the Rangers, you know, he was leading off, and now they don't have him leading off anymore. They have him down in the lineup in tonight's game against the Angels.
Lost the bat. A swing and a miss, and the count 0-2 as it goes near the on-deck circle, third base side.
Mendoza and Goodall is changing a little laugh or two. As well as the pitcher, Braden. Braden, all-district last year, should be named to the all-district team again this year.
Vikings won both games last year. And in the year before that. Behind third, off the foot of Balfonts. Into left field, it'll be a base hit for Goodall. And not able to move up to second. Daniel Weatherford had to run it down in straightaway left field, and Goodall stays anchored at first.
Well, you know, for Chase, it's just hitting the ball. You know, he has struck out so many times the last couple of weeks. That one just went right under the glove of Balfance and then went off his foot and kicked down the line. He would have had a tough play anyway, but the fact, at least for Chase, is that he got good contact on it for him.
Yeah, it was smoked. And Alphonse just trying to knock it down or get in front of it, and ended up in foul territory out in left field. Noah Salinas, the catcher, down on strikes his first time up. 4-0, Nimitz on top. Top half of inning number 3, a swing and a miss.
Both teams with unusual, what I call unusual, leadoff hitters. Nimitz has their pitcher as a leadoff, and the Tigers have a catcher as a leadoff.
Noah leads Irving in total hits with 15. And in the dirt, gets away from Carrasco. Moving up to second is Chase Goodall.
Well, I know what Williams was trying to do on that pitch is he was trying to get Noah to chase something bad. He ended up getting past his catcher.
So the runner at second, Goodall, as you see the shortstop, Brendan Williams playing behind him. That one up high and away. And the count even at 2 on Noah Salinas. Came in hitting .469 at district. Stefan Osenzio to follow here in the third. A double look at second. And Williams throws, comes on the outside, Black, and Noah Salinas is rung up for the second time.
Both times caught looking. Pretty pitch on the outside corner. That is the 25th strikeout, 26th strikeout of the district season for Braden.
So 2 outs and a runner at second for Stefan Osenzio, the shortstop. Seth grounded out to Andrew Torres at first, his first time. And watch you strike one, little high on the outside corner.
And that is right where Carrasco had set up. He didn't have to move his glove an inch on that pitch.
Righty-lefty matchup. Goodall with a modest lead at second. The 0-1 pitch. That one gets away, and Goodall will take third as Rico runs it down near the on-deck circle.
Well, that's twice now in this inning. Let the ball caroms off and watch again. He didn't get the glove down. Obviously it was low, but just didn't get the glove down fast enough.
Went right underneath the mitt. And time called as Inocencio steps away. Braden will work from the windup with a runner on third. 2 outs. And a 4-0 Viking lead. 1-1 pitch. Strike 2 to Inocencio. Well, that mound that's a tall hill. It's one of the higher mounds we've seen. Braden throws, and this one looped out of play. Went underneath a car. A hard one hop.
Let's see.
Underneath an automobile.
Let's see if that fastball sets up the breaking pitch from Braden. He's been right on the money on those.
Setting up outside. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one upstairs, ball 2.
Maybe not quite yet. Braden says, I'd like another baseball, please.
And a new Horsehide for the senior right-hander.
That other one isn't working to my liking.
Maybe a little moist. Tigers coming off a 6-2 loss to R.L. Turner last week. A team that has lost 6 in a row. And the 2-2 pitch, and that's a dandy. It broke late. Inocencio caught looking in the 4th strikeout for Braden Williams. And for the Tigers, in the top of the 3rd, no runs on a hit, no errors, and a runner left at second. It's the middle of the 3rd. Our score remains Nimitz 4 and the Irving Tigers nothing.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the district that our district 9-6A will face in the playoffs, and it'll kind of give you an idea, at least at this stage. You know, we're only about a week or 2 away from finishing things up. Right now it's Highland Park and Horn at 7-1, J.J. Pierce at 6-2, and then Mesquite at 4-4. So if Nimitz can at least hold serve and finish this thing out in second place, then that would put him against Pierce. The other teams that follow, as you look at some of the Viking players.
Scots are ranked in the top 10 of the Dallas Morning News this week.
Yep, they've been in and out of the top 10 all year. Jesuit, number 1, and Flower Mound, Coppell, Marcus, those three, they are so solid year in and year out. And Carroll also has really stepped it up a notch, say in the last decade or so. Except for Jesuit and Highland Park, all of those teams are in another region. So our district goes one direction, theirs will go west. So you wouldn't have to play those for a while.
Southlake has an infielder headed to Arkansas, Eric Cole. Pretty good prospect. Josh Reagan leads it off here in the bottom of the third. Swings and lines one by the third baseman, Julio Cano. Extra bases for the Viking center fielder as Reagan will ease into second. And a perfect 1-for-1 tonight was hit by a pitch. His first time up, the fourth hit given up by Banda. And a leadoff double and team double number 22 for the Vikings. Just jumps on that first pitch and rifles it by Cano at third.
Even had to go low a little bit, go down to one knee to make contact, but he has such a nice, pretty swing. And another base hit for one of the top hitters in the DFW area.
Andrew Torres steps in for the second time. Lined into a double play and hits one deep to left field. Strain looking up, and this one is gone. Andrew Torres takes Christian Banda deep and a 6-0 Viking lead.
Man, that ball took off like a rocket as Torres goes yard, shipyard that is. And the Vikings are showing their strength here in the third inning.
The 9th team home run this year for the Vikes. And a 6-0 lead here in the bottom of the third.
Andrew's first home run in district play. Watch it. Banda serves it up. And Torres just takes off with it into the night. Goes into the practice field behind us.
Over the 15-foot high fence and straight away left field. Daniel Weatherford watches ball one outside.
You know, John, we've been waiting to see some offensive fireworks since district started. I think we've found a few tonight.
Well, let's see. We've had everything but a triple. Not yet through 3 innings.
And we got a couple more at least. Innings, that is.
Oh, the uniform tops looks like they played 4 games.
All that's base stealing.
On the ground and past third in foul territory. Well, last year it was a 3-2 and 4-1 district sweep by the Vikings. Turn around and play each other again later in the week. The new district rule of your district games 2 in a week against the same team. In foul territory, off for the mask is Noah Salinas and looks it into the glove for out number 1.
A smile on the face of Salinas as his fellow catcher Carrasco comes to the plate.
First
Again,
out of the inning.
We talked about the room, you know, around the right field line, left field line, also behind home plate, and that enabled Salinas all the real estate he needed to come down with that good concentration, too.
Here's Rico Carrasco, the catcher. Singled and scored a run back in the second inning. Against the Lamar Vikings, the Nimitz squad pounded out 11 hits to go along with the 10 runs. Pitch a little bit inside by Banda. And the count at 2-0. Ryan Balfonts will hit next. And Carrasco is hit on the back.
Third batter to be hit by a pitch in this ball game.
It didn't break. And it'll be lifted for the pinch runner.
Rodriguez again, like he did back in the second inning.
Alex, same name, same number as the Major League star.
Think that's coincidental?
Wanted that one bad. Wanted that 13. Here's Ryan Balfont, who, like Carrasco, singled his last time up. Takes strike one, the throw, and Martinez's tag a little late at first. Ryan came in with a .429 district average. Alex Lee draws the throw by Banda.
Don't want to do the old sportscaster jinx, but Rodriguez yet to be caught stealing this year.
We have the total stolen bases for the team. It's pretty impressive through 17 games, all the bases they swiped. They run and they score runs.
They do.
So Banda, as Salinas may recycle the signs. Here's one over the shortstop head in Asensio into left field, rounding second, trying to take third. The throw is high, moving up to second on the throw is Balfant. Rodriguez takes third. It'll be a single for Balfant, who takes second on the throw. The sixth hit collected by the Vikings, and runners on second and third with one out.
Rodriguez really fortunate that time, stretching it from first to third. When he rounded second, he tripped a little bit. I thought, uh-oh, that's going to catch you at the end, but he made a head-first slide, the ball from the outfield from center, Goodall just a little bit off. Watch him here as he rounds. He holds up, make sure, and then right there, he kind of just lost his footing a little bit. I thought that was going to cost him, but just gets that hand in there.
This brings up David Gonzalez, the right fielder. 6-0, Nimitz on top. One out. Swings on the first pitch and lines one into left center field. It will plug the gap. They'll all score. Rodriguez, Balfont, and a double for David Gonzalez. It goes 8-0. Has 3 RBIs tonight.
Well, the Vikings showing why they are up to the top in batting averages as a team. They get their cuts. The only time they've never been walked tonight. Watch the runner at third, Rodriguez, and then jumps all over that pitch right in his wheelhouse into the gap.
Gonzalez came in with a .333 average. 8-0 the score. Brandon Williams, the shortstop, is the batter. Brendan has committed to Texas Tech. .481 in district, struck out back in the second. And Banda gets the outside corner. One out here in the third. A 1-1 count at the plate. He'll look to second twice, comes in with a breaking pitch. That one broke straight down, and a swing and a miss by Williams.
With the younger Williams batting in the 9th spot, the older Williams, Braden, will follow as he's the leadoff batter. So you get Williams as back-to-back.
Gonzalez, as Banda looks him back to second. Well, the Vikings, there are 4 players with 10 or more RBIs and 6 who have scored at least 10 or more runs in district. Did it get him on the foot? It did.
If it did, Gonzalez will have to go back to second.
Brendan Williams is hit by the pitch.
Was that like the 4th player to be hit? It's got to be an ICTN all-time
We'll
record.
We'll make it one.
It is. Games in which we've seen batters hit by a pitcher. And now there are 2 on for the leadoff hitter, Braden, who was one of those who got hit by a pitch back in the second.
The 8th man to come to bat here in the 3rd. And swings and misses on the first pitch. Braden trying to enter the bases on that swing. 1 for 1.
Well, he could pad the RBI stat here with a deep base hit or an extra base hit, because you know these guys like to run.
Bartlett straight away and about as deep as you can play in right field. Oh, 1 pitch from Banda is taken down low. Count even at 1. Nimitz 3-1 at home this year in district. Overall, they've won 7 of their last 9 games. 1-1 pitch. That one dives in a little late. It misses, and the count at 2-1.
Well, for Banda, those breaking pitches that traditionally work out well for him, they're just holding up long enough for the Vikings to jump all over.
Turn, no throw to second. Braden takes a couple of practice swings as he steps out of the box. There's a view from our first base shot side, and the stretch by Banda. Here's the pitch. And that one over but low, ball 3. Gonzalez at second. Brendan Williams at first. Time call. 8-0. Nimitz on top. Batter set, so is Banda. Here's a pitch. It is taken for a strike on the inside corner. Runs the count to 4. Saul Garcia on deck. Banda set, coming home. And this one is fouled off the left side. Right in the middle of the trees.
Banda has not walked anyone despite hitting 4 batters. Only 1 strikeout.
He's set, looks to second. Here's the pitch, swung on and hit to the second baseman, drops to a knee, goes to the shortstop covering, and the relay throw is in time. A 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. Banda able to get the ground ball, and Hernandez, Inocencio, and Martinez do the work behind him.
Nicely done by the Tigers, and I'm sure the Tiger fans are saying to themselves, man, we wish we'd see more of that during the course of the district season, because that was turned nicely, and what could have been even a bigger inning is ended with the second to short, Inocencio to first, and got him by a step. Nicely done, Irving.
4 runs on 4 hits for the Vikings. We're through 3. Our new score now, Nimitz 8 and Irving nothing. And for the Tigers, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 to face Braden Williams, who has struck out 4, allowed a couple of hits, and walked 1. Also uncorked a couple of wild pitches, but they haven't done any damage.
Williams coming in district-wise, 23 strikeouts to his credit before tonight's game. There's a couple right there. Number 3 got him caught looking, has 4 in all.
And Inocencio took that last call, 3rd strike.
In command, and there's not a line at the concession stand. Get your dollar dog now before they run out.
Yeah, we're through 3 in a time typically when you do have a big rush. They've seen some runs, time to relax a little bit.
Let me tell
Chow
you,
down.
I was at a Rangers game last weekend. I was in line for a full inning and a half before they got to me.
Oh, man.
I'm like, what?
I got there, and see, the game started at 3. I pulled into the parking lot at 11:30, and where I normally park, every spot was taken. I had to circle twice and finally found a spot. And Williams drills Cecinas on the first pitch.
Now, you know, if this was the majors, we'd be saying the managers telling each other to make up for the hit batters that the opposition.
Right on the back of the calf as Sebastian Cecinas, the DH, is hit. Daniel Martinez comes up. But back to opening day, Rob, when I left, about a third of the people that got there in the parking lot to tailgate were still there. They had no intention of seeing the game or couldn't get a ticket. They just wanted to be there.
Right. That's the latest craze.
But the spaces, I mean, if you're going to park, see the game.
I know a lot. Usually it's the younger crowd, the 20-somethings like to do that. You know, just an excuse to get together.
They did. And the fact being on a Friday and a 3 o'clock, most of your work day is probably done if you win it at, 7 or 8.
Speaking of tailgating, that year that Oregon and LSU kicked off the college football season there at Jerry World, they were tailgating where Ranger fans tailgate hours before kickoff. That was just one of the wildest scenes I've ever witnessed firsthand of, oh, this is college football. This is what they do. I mean, they were everywhere taking up space.
Pitch on the way outside. A couple of years ago, the Aggies filled up that lot. Their bowl game, Johnny Manziel's senior season bowl game over Oklahoma. That was over at halftime. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch on the way, and this one top foul, wide of third. Cecinas again hit by pitch. 8-0, Nimitz on top. Daniel Martinez flied out to center. His first time up. Aaron Strain on deck. Irving again 2-6 in the district, 5-9 on the year. Williams throws and got it. Martinez looks at one he thought might have been a little low, and Braden racks up strikeout number 5.
It's that breaking pitch every time, right about the knees, and if it's close, you better swing.
Jelly-legged him. And the first out here in the 4th. Aaron Strain, the hitter. And a fastball a little bit outside. 5 strikeouts. That's 28 now in district play for the senior. Not even worried about the runner at first. Comes home, and this one fouled off the netting. And the count even at 1 on Aaron Strain, who walked back in the second, tried to come home, and was out on a play that went 1-5-2. One pitch, waved at and missed. And the count at 1-2.
Boy, when that breaking pitch works, man, it can make a batter look silly.
Williams comes home. This one is headed towards Oakdale Street. A little late on the swing was Strain. Irving's last win over the Vikings in district play was 4 years ago. It's the last time they beat Nimitz in district play. And the 1-2 pitch. He looks at it, he holds up, and the pitch misses outside.
Good job of hitting by Strain. He thought about it as Williams was trying to touch the corner there.
Andrew Torres holding on the runner at first. Braden set at the belt. Here's a pitch, and this one another breaking pitch and strain caught looking. You could see it coming, Robbie. Had it breaking in about shoulder high, then went straight down, a 12-6er.
He's done that on more than one occasion tonight.
Locked him up.
On the 2-strike count.
2 out, Ryan Bartlett the hitter. This is outside as Carrasco has to reach to the right. Six strikeouts, a walk, and a hit batter for Braden Williams. 1-0 pitch. That one misses outside, 2-0. Bartlett single got as far as third in the second inning. Top of the fourth, 8-0. Nimitz on top as Bartlett steps away.
Talked about the strikeouts. The thing is, 5 of those strikeouts have come in the last 7 batters he's faced.
Look from straightaway center field in the 2-0 pitch. Down low. Matt Sarner coaching at first, and Kerry Carahiro over at third. At 3-0, Bartlett taking all the way, may take the next one as well, and that one a strike on the outside corner. Bartlett also pitches for the Tigers. 3-1 pitch. He is taking, and that one is a strike, and now it goes to full. Thought it was low and away. Maybe thinking should have swung at it, but held up. And the payoff pitch, runner on the move, and a swing and a miss. Williams falls behind 3-0. He comes back to strike out Bartlett, his 7th strikeout of the evening. And for the Tigers, in the top of the fourth, no runs on no hits, no miscues in the field, and a runner left at first. In the middle of the fourth, it is still Nimitz 8, and the Irving Tigers nothing.
Braden really getting strong since the 3rd inning, recording 6 strikeouts in 2 innings. Hit 1 batter and gave up a base hit, but besides that, struck out 6 of those. This series, you know, the Vikings swept the season series with Irving the past 3 years for the first time this century. You look at how the series has gone for 3 years. It's been all Nimitz, and then in 10 and 11, Irving High School. In 09, they split. They split in 08. You know, this thing goes back for decades, all the way back to 03. We're having in our little stat sheet in front of me. Irving swept that series all the way back to 03 as the Irving Nimitz fans, with their bottom of the fourth. Rah, rah, rah.
That's the third base contingent, and right behind home, a lot of more students and a 360 turn. You know, the warm-up jerseys, the practice jerseys that Nimitz has this year, on the right sleeve they have a WTDDD1, and in remembrance of a Dalton DeBrick who passed away in August. He was a freshman at Texas Tech, so they're kind of honoring their former teammate with a patch on the right sleeve. They have it. It's not on this uniform, but it is on
their warm-up uniforms.
Warm-up uniforms. And for the Vikings, the Tigers here in the bottom of the fourth, Saul Garcia will lead it off as Braden is Banda misses one on the outside corner. Nimitz in the bottom of the fourth, leading 8-0. Garcia flied out to center, swings and hits one deep to left center, and another ball that will plug the gap. Garcia into second and a leadoff double. And the 8th hit for the Vikings.
Nimitz looking at the umpire in the field because the first baseman, watch the first baseman, Martinez gets right in Garcia's base pad, right there, and you see the umpire running there. It was to his back. He didn't see it. It would have to be the home plate umpire to call it, but I think he should have been awarded another base on that.
Well, yeah, Garcia had a dance partner as he rounded first.
Well, here goes Reagan.
Josh Reagan, who doubled his last time up, watches a pitch sail outside. The last 2 innings, the Vikings have had leadoff doubles. Short lead at second, and Garcia back to the bag. So Josh is 1 for 1 tonight. Came in batting .450, has scored 15 runs. And again, second in the area in hitting. Swings and pulls one foul into the left field corner.
The thing about Reagan is that, you know, you try to blow one by him, he's going to jump all over the fastball, but he's patient enough to wait on the breaking pitch as well. Makes him so dangerous.
A DBU commit, Patriots of Dallas Baptist. Leadoff double. Garcia at second. The pitch to Reagan, lined in the left field. Another base hit, a one-hopper into the glove of Strain. And the throw almost gets away as Banda backs up the play in foul territory.
Looks like batting practice, doesn't it, when he gets up there? You know, there are some hitters that are just so flawless when they get up there. They have such a smooth swing, and Josh is one of those. Now, last time Mr. Torres got up, this is what he did back in the 3rd inning, right over the wall in left field. And I'm sure Banda's thinking about that here in the 4th.
Runners at the corners, and the first pitch is low to Andrew Torres.
What, Reagan wasn't running on that pitch?
Well, he stays at first. The lead by Garcia at third. See what kind of a move he gets here. He takes off. He'll draw the throw, and taking the throw in front of the bag is Hernandez at second. The runner stays at third.
Well, whoever the Vikings face in postseason, that team better have a pretty good catcher because they're going to run on you.
Now, the first 4 batters tonight for the Vikings have 10 total bases. Breaking pitch is hit to the left side by the third baseman, Cano. It is 9-0. Reagan will stay at third as a throw comes in to Martinez.
Well, a good night of hitting for Torres. Now with 3 RBI. And it's just the curveball that he just stays with it. He had to go down low to make contact with it. Vikings score yet again.
11 total bases now for the first 4 batters. And here's Daniel Weatherford, the left fielder. Runners at the corners. It's 9-0 Nimitz. Weatherford fouled out to the catcher his last time up, a little bit ahead of that one by Banda as he crossed him up. Reagan at third, Torres at first. This one will leave the yard, but it's foul as it hits the clubhouse on top of the roof. The equipment shed off the left field line. Weatherford reached on an error in the second, or Stephen Buffington the hitter. So Buffington hitting here in the bottom of the 4th. Runners on first and third. As Salinas has to stand up and save a pitch way outside. This one gets away, and here's the 10th run. As Salinas runs it down, Reagan trots in from third. Torres moves up to second. Buffington in district play this year has come to bat 24 times.
In the dirt, Salinas couldn't scoop it out. And Reagan, who was at third, came in pretty easily.
Swings and misses on a pitch outside. And that is the first out of the inning. Second strikeout for Banda. Time called as Coach K comes to the mound. A 10-0 Nimitz lead, one out in the home half of the fourth inning.
Got a feeling Bartlett will come in from right field to pitch.
Well, they probably will here in the fourth. So position changes if Bartlett gets another glove. One out in the fourth is Banda responsible for Torres at second, as Bartlett will take his complement of warm-up tosses, an ERA of over 3, 0-1 in district.
Well, while we have a pause in the action, let's remind everyone about our special recognition that we just started, the Bob Berry All Sports Award. And MacArthur is going to win this one based on how they've done in baseball and softball. They've got a nice lead, 30 points overall. Nimitz in second at 23 and Irving in third amongst the three teams in Irving. You know, I noticed talking about going to the Rangers game and the pitch clock that they have, you know, between innings. You get 3 minutes for your warm-ups, and then after that, you've got to play ball. I enjoyed that. Enjoyed the pitch clock. Seemed to make things go by a little bit quicker.
Yeah, they started as soon as that last out is recorded. Something new this year at every Major League park. Mack shutting out the Tigers this year 10-0 and 7-0. They've been blanked 3 times in district. And down 10-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. So Ryan Bartlett, the new pitcher. Rico Carrasco is the batter. He's 1 for 1 and has scored twice, and the pitch inside and tight. So Christian Banda tonight goes 3 1/3. Ball 2 is almost gets away from Salinas. 4 hit batters, 1 wild pitch for Banda. Bartlett out of the stretch, comes over the top and misses outside. Ryan Balfont's on deck. And Bartlett steps off the slab. Rico came in batting .261 in district. And 4 wide ones by Bartlett. And moving over to third. I tell you what, Rob, you look down, you misplay.
You do.
You don't expect Torres to take third, but he did. He may steal home.
And it wouldn't surprise me.
No, it wouldn't. Runners on first and third, and Alex Rodriguez, the pinch runner for Carrasco at first.
There's Torres there. He says, I'm going. I dare you, throw it to me.
Yeah, it's free for the taking, and he takes the extra base. That drives coaches nuts. You just can't let that happen. About 80% of the time, it turns into a run. Here's the 11th run. Wild pitch. 11-0 as Torres trots in from third. Rodriguez up to second.
these are one of those games that a lot of times the coach of a losing team in a game like this will make you run a lot after the game. Try to get your mind straight. I can see just the mindset, not a mind reader, but you can just kind of read the body language of the Tigers, and they're just not in it right now.
Ryan, a perfect 2 for 2, a run scored and an RBI. And Bartlett able to get a strike. And the count at 2-1.
Yeah, you got Ryan with a couple of base hits, and then Gonzalez, who bats 8th with a couple of 3 RBIs himself.
Another ball that gets away from Salinas as Rodriguez over to third. Our coach made us run even after we won again because he was afraid it may rain the next contest. Hey, if it rains 2 days later, we won't get this one in.
Start running.
An 11-0 Nimitz lead. Nimitz will go to 7-2 in district play after tonight. They'll pick up their 12th overall win.
By the way, Banda moves to left field, strained from left to right defensively.
All 4, and Valfence with a free pass. David Gonzalez batting 8th tonight in Robert Mendoza's batting order. Has 3 RBIs. Bottom third of the order tonight has driven in 4 runs. Valfence, Gonzalez, and Brendan Williams. Again, next week it'll be softball on ICTN, the Lady Cards, and the Lady Vikings. District play over halfway done after this contest.
You know, Bartlett has not pitched a lot of innings this year. Tough for him to come in relief like this from right field. Try to feel comfortable and find the strike zone.
The only out on a strikeout 3 batters ago. David Gonzalez, the right fielder, hitting .333. Pitch is low.
Sometimes you find yourself overthrowing, meaning too fast, too hard, and you lose control in the strike zone. That's what's happening right now to Bartlett.
And able to get a strike, taking all the way is Gonzalez. Again, the Vikings came in with a team batting average of .382, averaging 8 runs a game overall. That one, a very generous strike on the outside corner. It is the giving time of the night, is it not?
It is. Better give by midnight tomorrow.
Here's a dribbler hit to the right side. Hernandez will glove, throw, and a run comes in. It is 12-0. David Gonzalez with another RBI. 4-3 on the putout.
It's been a good night for Gonzalez.
I imagine 4 RBIs has put the ball in play every time up. 2 of those resulted in outs, but they had runners on, and they came on to score anyway. Brendan Williams is a hitter.
And that's important as you try to go deep inside the playoffs, try to win a series, making contact with the runner in scoring position.
4 runs home this inning. Runner at second, 2 outs. Brendan hit by a pitch his last time up. Christian Banda, his record will now go to 1-4. That pitch upstairs, and Williams with a swing and a miss. Nimitz with at least a run in every inning. They scored 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 4 in the third. And 4 and counting here in the fourth. Pitch inside. And the count at 3-2. Ryan Bartlett in relief of Chris Banda, and a swing and a miss, and Brendan Williams down on strikes, but Nimitz adds to its total 4 runs here in the home half of the 4th inning, and our new score after 4, Nimitz 12, Irving nothing. You're watching the ICTN Game of the Week.
And as we head to the 5th inning of play, let's thank our sponsor for the ICTN Game of the Week, Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning, the charter sponsor of ICTN Game of the Week. Way back in the 80s, the Stavely family started supporting ICTN, and we appreciate that.
Tigers have been dry cleaned tonight, 12-0 as we go in the batting orders. 7, 8, and 9, Julio Cano to lead it off. Cano drilled. And the last thing Braden wanted to do was to hit a batter here with a game well in hand here in the 5th inning.
I'm telling you, I'm making it official. This is an ICTN record of 6 batters being hit during the course of the game. 2 Irving batters have been hit.
Yeah, Banda drilled 4.
And yeah, Banda with 4. It's crazy.
Jason Hernandez, second baseman, up for the 2nd time tonight. And a fastball outside by Braden Williams. His season record will go to 4-1. Chase Goodall on deck. Braden set and overthrows that one. And the count 2-0.
Hernandez, the freshman, laid down a couple of nice sacrifice bunts last week. Need more than that right now.
He's set, pitch coming home, and at the letters, the ball taken for a strike. Tigers came in hitting close to 260 in district play. Again, they've lost 6 in a row, having started out the year 4-2. A swing and a miss on a pitch high and outside. And the count even at 2. Julio Cano, the runner at first. Tigers able to scratch out a hit in the 2nd and again in the 3rd. That's been it. Wild and outside, ball 3.
You know, I was wondering how these long innings would affect Williams. Both the 3rd and the 4th inning. At least 7 batters coming to the plate. Get out of your rhythm.
Set at the belt. In the payoff pitch, he got him, and Hernandez strikes out for the 2nd time. There's the 8th strikeout tonight for Braden Williams in the 1st out of the inning. 40 strikeouts on the year, 31 in district. And the number 9 hitter, Chase Goodall, who singled his last time up. Runner at first, a swing and a miss. Wow.
Big smile on
A lot of
Chase's
daylight.
face.
I mean, ball in the bat.
Got fooled, tricked him up a little bit.
Cano being held on by Torres. And the pitch, same result. Noah Salinas barring a double play will hit next. Top of the 5th, 12-0. Nimitz in command. And there is another strikeout. Goodall caught looking. Number 9 for Braden Williams. And with 2 outs, here's the top of the order, Noah Salinas.
You know, when Braden gets that 2-strike count, how often you see him come with that curveball that just falls off the table like that. Had Goodall guessing, and he guessed wrong.
And a pinch runner at first.
That Shell, isn't it?
Yeah, Morris Shell. A senior running at first, so he gets in the game tonight. Salinas, the batter, has struck out twice. To the left side. And the long throw gets away from Torres. Morris Shell scampers over to third. And Salinas aboard at first.
Well, that was a grounder to Williams, his brother. Made a good stop on it. Came up and really rushed his throw. As the grounder there by Salinas. Watch Williams go to his right. Comes up firing. He had a lot of time, you can see there, and I think he just rushed it, and the first baseman, Torres, looking back on it, probably could have come off the bag to make that catch and would have had enough time to come back and touch the bag for the out.
Here's Seth Inocencio. Tonight 0 for 2. Runners at the corners. Nimitz hoping for the shutout tonight. In the game with a 10-run rule. Braden Williams, senior right-hander. And the 0-1 pitch outside. He has struck out a batter in every inning except the second. Tigers, since 2003, do have a lead in the series with Nimitz. 16 wins and 7 losses. It'll be 8 after tonight. This one turns Inocencio around.
You talk about Williams and what he's done striking out wise. If he can strike out the side here, that'll be the 3rd straight inning that he struck out the side.
Braden set. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and a foul pop out of play left side. So the Tigers down to their last strike.
I say go to that curveball that has worked so well for you tonight. Just
yeah, it has been money for senior.
Instead of coming down on the side with your delivery, it's like over the top.
All right, we'll see. A 2-2 count. The pitch on the way. It is the bender, and that one over, but just a shade high.
Well, I thought we had strike 3.
I did
right
too.
there.
I did too, and so did the rest of the teammates for Braden Williams. So the count goes to full. Here's the pitch. Swung on and a ground ball through the right side. And the Tigers do score a run tonight. Morris Shell comes in from third. And Inocencio with a base hit to right field. It is 12-1. Only the 3rd hit given up by Braden Williams. And runners on first and second for Sebastian Cecinas.
Well, a nice bit of hitting by Inocencio. Just pulls that one right down the line and stayed with it. Williams tells his first baseman, don't even hold the runner on.
Swing and a miss. Sebastian, the DH tonight, has grounded out and has also been hit by a pitch.
The umpire wants to make sure that foot stays on the rubber.
9 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 3 hits given up tonight by Braden Williams. A swing and a miss, and again the Tigers down to their last strike. Can he get it number 10? We saw a 15 strikeout performance earlier this year by Mack. 12-1 the score. And the 0-2 pitch to the right side. Torres will have it. The underhand toss to Braden Williams, and the Nimitz Vikings collect district win number 7 for the Tigers. In the top half of the 5th inning, 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 runners left. Irving falls to 2-7, 5-10 overall. 12-1 your final score. The Vikings have now won 8 of their last 10. Their season total now 12-6, and again, more importantly, a 7-2 district mark keeps them in pace with Mack and W.T. White. Well, Rob, it was the pitching tonight of Braden Williams, the hitting, well, throughout the lineup. The top 3, the middle of the order, and the bottom of the 3rd of the batting order tonight coming through for the Nimitz Vikings as they collect 10 hits.
Nimitz making the timely base hits, also getting some key plays on the bottom of their order just as well. They keep putting the pressure on W.T. White. White's got to play Jesuit again, and as the season winds down, if the Vikings continue to play like this and run so well, we didn't even talk about the fact that they just steal bases at will, and they did it again tonight. Keep that pressure up, and they should be in really good shape come postseason time with a very convincing 12-1 win tonight over the Tigers.
Well, they have now outscored their opponents in district play 76-3. Nimitz wins it. Our thanks to our ICTN production crew. For Rob Willman, once again our final score, Nimitz 12, Irving 1. This is John Nelson saying good night from the shipyard.
Irving Game of the Week has been brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning,